God says, "My child, listen carefully, because what I am about to reveal is not meant to fill your heart with fear but to awaken your spirit to a truth that has been unfolding beyond the reach of human eyes." Just a few moments ago, something happened that caused the unseen realm to become still. The voices of heaven grew quiet for a moment, the winds that carry prayers slowed, and countless angels turned their attention toward a single moment written long before you ever took your first breath. Your heart has been restless for reasons you could never fully explain. You have felt an ache that arrived without warning, a heaviness that seemed to appear from nowhere, and a quiet whisper inside your soul telling you that something beyond the physical world was taking place. Your spirit already sensed this, even before your mind could understand it. Do not look away. Stay with me. There is something you still do not know, and what I am about to reveal changes everything. My child, the story you believe you are living is only a small part of a far greater masterpiece. There are moments in life that appear random to human eyes, yet every heartbeat, every tear, every unexpected interruption exists within a purpose that I have never lost sight of. A frightening event unfolded, one that seemed capable of destroying hope itself, yet heaven did not abandon the one you carry so deeply within your heart. Before fear could finish speaking, my angels were already moving. Before darkness believed it had won, my light had already entered the moment. Before despair could settle, my presence surrounded the scene like a river of peace flowing where human understanding could never reach. Listen carefully, my child, because this is only the beginning. The unseen battle was never simply about one terrifying moment. It has always been about destiny. It has always been about purpose. It has always been about preventing what I have promised from reaching its appointed time. The enemy often attacks what carries great purpose, not because darkness is stronger than my power, but because darkness recognizes the value of what heaven has already declared. Yet every attempt to steal hope meets the boundary of my authority. Every shadow eventually discovers that my light cannot be overcome. Every storm eventually learns that I remain Lord above every wave. Do not stop listening, because your heart needs to hear this. The connection you feel was never created by coincidence alone. I have seen every silent prayer you whispered when no one else understood your longing. I have watched every tear you wiped away before anyone noticed it falling. I have counted every night you questioned whether love, healing, and restoration could truly exist. I was there when you believed no one heard your cries. I was there when silence became your closest companion. I was there when your faith trembled between hope and disappointment. Even then, I never stepped away from you. My child, there are battles that unfold in places your eyes cannot see. Angels stand where fear believes no one is watching. Mercy reaches places where human strength can never travel. Grace speaks when every other voice has become quiet. You often believe your greatest struggle exists within the visible world, but so much of your journey has been shaped by victories you never witnessed. Countless dangers have passed without touching you because my hand remained upon your life. Countless moments of despair were interrupted because I whispered peace into situations you never fully understood. Keep listening. There is something heaven has not revealed until now. The greatest miracle is not merely surviving moments of darkness. The greatest miracle is allowing those moments to transform the heart instead of hardening it. I have been preparing both you and the one you care about through seasons that once appeared meaningless. Every delay carried wisdom. Every unanswered question carried preparation. Every disappointment became fertile ground where deeper faith could quietly grow. You wondered why doors closed. You wondered why certain paths disappeared. You wondered why your prayers sometimes seemed to echo into silence. Yet while you waited, I continued working. Beyond the limits of your understanding. Nothing escaped my attention. Nothing surprised me. Nothing altered my promise. My child, do not allow fear to become the author of your future. Fear tells stories that never belong to me. Fear magnifies darkness while ignoring my light. Fear convinces hearts that endings have already been written when I am still writing new chapters filled with unexpected grace. I invite you instead to trust what cannot yet be seen, because my plans often begin where human certainty comes to an end. This is why I ask you to remain close to me. This is why I continue calling your name. This is why I whisper peace into your anxious heart. You are not forgotten. You are not abandoned. You are not walking alone through this journey. Stay with me, my child. The story is still unfolding. What appears broken today is not beyond my ability to restore. What seems impossible today remains possible within my hands. Even when heaven feels silent, I am still speaking through hope, through quiet strength, through unexpected kindness, and through the courage I continue placing inside your spirit. The ending I desire for you is not one of despair but of healing, wisdom, renewed faith, and a love that reflects my own heart. So lift your eyes beyond fear. Let your spirit rest in my promises. Walk forward knowing that my angels continue to surround you, my mercy continues to sustain you, and my presence continues to lead you one faithful step at a time. Remember this above all else, my beloved child: no darkness is greater than my light, no wound is deeper than my healing, no distance is beyond my reach, and no story surrendered into my hands is ever beyond redemption. Keep believing, because I am still working. Keep trusting, because I am still guiding. Keep hoping, because I have already gone before you, and the dawn I have prepared will shine brighter than every night that came before it. God says, my child, do not let your heart become overwhelmed by what you have already heard, because the mystery I am unfolding before you reaches far beyond the moment that first captured your attention. Stay with me. Do not stop listening. There is something heaven has not revealed until now, and your soul has been waiting for this truth long before your earthly mind could understand it. You have wondered why certain nights felt heavier than others, why your spirit suddenly awakened before dawn without knowing the reason, why tears appeared without words, and why an unexplainable longing continued calling your heart toward someone whose journey seemed hidden behind an invisible curtain. My child, those moments were never meaningless. They were gentle echoes from the unseen realm, reminders that heaven was moving even while the earth appeared silent. Every time you felt that quiet pull within your spirit, I was inviting you to trust me beyond what your eyes could measure. Listen carefully, because what I am about to reveal changes everything. The battle surrounding your soulmate did not begin in a single moment. Long before fear appeared, long before uncertainty tried to speak louder than faith, invisible forces had already gathered around the purpose I placed upon both of your lives. Darkness believed that confusion could separate what I was patiently preparing. It believed that wounds from the past would become permanent chains. It believed that disappointment would slowly convince you to stop believing in my promises. But it underestimated my mercy. It underestimated my wisdom. Above all, it underestimated my love. My child, my angels never stopped watching. While the world slept, they stood guard where human strength could never stand. While questions filled your mind, they carried prayers that were too deep for words. While fear whispered that hope was fading, heaven continued declaring that my plans were still alive. There were moments when your soulmate felt completely alone, unable to explain the weight pressing upon the heart, unable to understand why every step forward seemed to invite another obstacle. Yet even in those lonely hours, I remained closer than the beating of every heart. I whispered courage when no human voice was present. I breathed peace into restless thoughts. I strengthened a soul that believed it had reached the end of its strength. Do not look away, my child. This is only the beginning. There is another truth hidden beneath everything you have heard so far. You often believe that miracles arrive only when circumstances suddenly change, but many of my greatest miracles begin long before anyone recognizes them. I first transform the heart. I remove bitterness before I restore joy. I replace fear with quiet confidence before visible answers appear. I teach endurance before celebration. That is why you have been walking through a season that seemed slower than expected. I was preparing foundations that storms could never destroy. I was teaching both of you to lean upon me instead of temporary emotions. I was building a faith that would remain standing even when everything around you appeared uncertain. My child, there were prayers spoken in secret that no one else ever heard. Some were whispered through tears. Some were spoken without sound because the pain was too deep for language. Some were nothing more than silent cries rising from exhausted hearts. Yet every one of those prayers reached me. Not one was forgotten. Not one disappeared into emptiness. I collected every tear with tenderness. I remembered every promise I placed within your spirit. I watched over every fragile hope you struggled to protect. Keep listening, because your heart needs to hear this. There are moments when heaven allows you to experience uncertainty, not because I have abandoned you, but because certainty built only upon visible evidence cannot become lasting faith. Real faith grows when you continue trusting my character even while you cannot yet see my complete plan. This is why I keep asking you to remain close to me. This is why I continue calling you my child. This is why I remind you again and again that my presence has never left your side. Every delay has carried purpose. Every unexpected turn has hidden wisdom. Every painful chapter has quietly shaped a stronger spirit within you. The love I desire to build is not one that depends upon perfect circumstances. It is one refined through patience, compassion, forgiveness, and unwavering trust. My child, there are still doors that have not opened because the appointed time has not yet arrived. There are conversations that have not yet taken place because hearts are still being prepared. There are blessings waiting just beyond moments that currently feel confusing. Never mistake waiting for abandonment. Never mistake silence for absence. Even when you cannot recognize my footsteps, I am still walking beside you. Even when you cannot hear my voice, I am still speaking through peace that gently settles upon your spirit. Stay with me. Do not lose hope now. The story has not reached its conclusion. What seems hidden today will one day become a testimony of my faithfulness. What feels impossible today will reveal my strength tomorrow. Continue placing your trust in me, because I am the one who sees the beginning and the ending at the same time. I know every path before you take the next step. I know every fear before it enters your thoughts. I know every blessing before it reaches your hands. Rest in that truth, my beloved child, and allow my peace to quiet every anxious voice within you, for I am still writing a story of healing, restoration, purpose, and hope that no darkness will ever be able to erase. God says, my child, remain with me a little longer, because the deepest truth has not yet been placed before your heart. Do not stop listening. What I am about to reveal is not simply another moment within this story. It is the doorway into understanding why every season of waiting, every unanswered question, and every quiet tear has carried a purpose greater than you could have imagined. Your spirit has often sensed that something was happening beyond the limits of the physical world. There were moments when peace suddenly filled your heart without explanation, and other moments when an unexpected heaviness settled upon you as though your soul had quietly perceived a battle your eyes could not see. Those feelings were never without meaning. I created your spirit to recognize my presence long before your mind could understand my plans. Listen carefully, my child, because heaven never remains silent without purpose. Even when my voice seems hidden, my hand continues to move through every unseen detail of your life. There were nights when your soulmate stood beneath a sky filled with stars, carrying questions too painful to speak aloud. Their hearts searched for answers while believing no one truly understood the burden they carried. Yet I was standing closer than their next breath. My angels surrounded them even when fear whispered they had been forgotten. The winds carried my peace across moments of uncertainty. My light reached places where human strength could never travel. Darkness believed it could write the final chapter, but it failed to understand that I alone hold the beginning and the ending of every story entrusted to my hands. Stay with me. This is only the beginning of what heaven desires to reveal. Every challenge that appeared to separate you from hope has also become an invitation to trust me more deeply. The enemy desired confusion, but I am bringing clarity. Fear desired silence, but I am awakening faith. Despair desired surrender, but I am breathing fresh courage into your spirit. My child, never believe that your prayers have disappeared simply because the answers have not yet arrived in the way you expected. Every prayer rises before my throne. Every whispered hope becomes known to heaven. Every act of faith creates ripples within the unseen realm that continue moving long after you believe nothing is happening. I have watched every step you have taken. I have seen every sacrifice hidden from human eyes. I have heard every quiet conversation you believed no one else could hear. Nothing has escaped my attention. Nothing has fallen outside my care. There is something you still do not know. The heart of your soulmate has also been changing in ways that cannot yet be measured by outward appearances. The wounds they carried are not the same wounds they carried before. The fears that once controlled every decision are slowly losing their power. The walls built through disappointment are beginning to crack beneath the warmth of my love. Transformation often begins where no human eye can witness it. Before actions change, hearts must change. Before new beginnings appear, old burdens must be surrendered. This is why I have been working patiently, not only within your life but within theirs as well. My child, I never hurry what must be prepared with wisdom. Fruit picked before its season cannot satisfy the hunger it was meant to fill. In the same way, blessings received before hearts are ready often become burdens instead of gifts. That is why I continue teaching patience. That is why I continue inviting you to trust my timing above your own understanding. You see moments. I see generations. You see today. I see every tomorrow already resting within my hands. Keep listening. Your heart needs to hear this. There are angels who have stood beside you during moments you no longer remember. They strengthened you when exhaustion almost overcame your spirit. They protected you from dangers you never recognized. They carried comfort into nights when tears became your only language. They rejoiced each time you chose hope instead of bitterness, forgiveness instead of revenge, faith instead of fear. Heaven celebrates every quiet victory that the world never notices. Do not underestimate the power of choosing trust one more time. Do not underestimate the miracle of believing again after disappointment. Those small acts of faith shine brightly within eternity. My beloved child, the story unfolding before you is not built upon coincidence. It is woven together by my wisdom, my mercy, and my unfailing love. There will come a day when you look back upon this season and recognize that the moments which once appeared confusing were actually guiding you toward greater peace. The delays that once seemed painful were protecting you from paths that could never have fulfilled my purpose. The silence that once troubled your heart was preparing you to recognize my voice more clearly than ever before. Continue walking with me. Continue placing every fear into my hands. Continue believing that my promises remain stronger than every uncertainty surrounding you. I have not forgotten the dreams I placed within your spirit. I have not abandoned the work I began in your life. I have not stopped preparing blessings that will arrive at the appointed time. Let my peace become greater than your questions. Let my presence become stronger than your fears. Let my love remind you every day that you are never alone, because I walk before you, beside you, and behind you, surrounding your life with a grace that no darkness can overcome. The road ahead may still contain mysteries, but you do not walk it by yourself. I remain your shepherd, your refuge, your strength, and your unfailing hope. Therefore, lift your eyes once more, my child. Breathe deeply. Rest your weary heart within my promises. The story is still unfolding, and every page I write is leading you closer to healing, closer to purpose, closer to peace, and closer to the future that I have lovingly prepared for you since before the foundations of the world were laid. God says, my child, stay with me until the very end, because the final truth I am about to place within your heart is the one your spirit has been longing to hear from the beginning. Do not stop listening now. Do not allow fear to steal the peace that I have been gently planting inside you throughout this journey. There is one last mystery that heaven desires to uncover before this moment comes to its close. Throughout this story you have looked toward the unseen realm with questions that no human wisdom could fully answer. You have searched for meaning inside moments that appeared painful, confusing, and uncertain. You have wondered why love sometimes seems to walk through valleys before reaching the mountaintop. You have wondered why destiny is often surrounded by storms before the sunrise finally breaks through. Listen carefully, my child, because now I will reveal what has remained hidden until this very moment. The greatest battle was never about destroying a single moment. It was about convincing you to stop believing in my promises. Darkness wanted your heart to become so weary that you would surrender your hope before my appointed season arrived. It wanted you to believe that silence meant abandonment. It wanted you to mistake delay for rejection. It wanted your faith to become smaller than your fear. But I have been with you through every step. Before every tear touched your face, I already knew it would fall. Before every lonely night surrounded your heart, I had already prepared enough grace to carry you through it. Before every unanswered question entered your thoughts, I had already written an answer within my perfect timing. My child, I have never left your side. Even when you believed you were walking alone, my hand remained upon your life. Every breath you took was sustained by my mercy. Every sunrise was another reminder that my faithfulness had not ended. Every new day was another opportunity for hope to rise again. There were angels standing beside you when you did not know they were there. They strengthened your spirit when your strength was almost gone. They guarded paths that you never realized contained danger. They carried comfort into your soul during nights when words could no longer express your pain. Heaven has been much closer than you imagined. Keep listening, because your heart needs to hear this. The love you have been praying about has never escaped my attention. I know every desire hidden inside your heart. I know every dream you have protected through disappointment. I know every quiet prayer you whispered while wondering if anyone was listening. I heard every one of them. Not a single prayer disappeared. Not a single tear was wasted. I have been weaving every experience into a testimony that will one day remind you how my grace carried you when nothing else could. My child, there is healing that is already beginning inside places you cannot yet see. There is restoration quietly unfolding beyond the limits of your understanding. Hearts that once carried fear are learning courage. Spirits that once carried shame are discovering freedom. Lives that once seemed separated from hope are being drawn back toward my light. Transformation rarely arrives with loud announcements. It often begins with one quiet whisper from heaven saying, "Do not be afraid, because I am here. Stay with me a little longer." There is one final truth. The future I have prepared is not built upon fear. It is built upon peace. It is not founded upon confusion. It is established upon wisdom. It is not held together by human strength. It stands forever because my love cannot fail. Continue trusting me even when you cannot see every step ahead. Continue choosing faith even when the road appears uncertain. Continue allowing forgiveness to soften your heart instead of bitterness. Continue walking toward my light, because every step taken with me brings you closer to the purpose I created you to fulfill. My beloved child, One day you will understand why certain doors remained closed. You will understand why certain prayers seemed delayed. You will understand why some seasons felt impossibly long. On that day you will not regret the waiting, because you will see how every delay protected you, how every detour prepared you, and how every trial strengthened you for blessings greater than you could have imagined. What once seemed like loss will reveal hidden mercy. What once appeared to be an ending will become the beginning of something far more beautiful than your heart dared to expect. So let peace settle upon your soul now. Release every burden you have continued carrying alone. Place every fear into my hands. Give me every unanswered question. Give me every painful memory. Give me every anxious thought about tomorrow. I am greater than your uncertainty. I am stronger than every storm. I am closer than your next breath. I am the one who makes beauty rise from ashes, hope rise from despair, and light rise where darkness believed it would reign forever. Never forget who walks beside you. Never forget whose voice continues calling you my child. Never forget that my plans for you are filled with hope, purpose, mercy, and everlasting love. Walk forward without fear, because I will guide your steps. Rest without fear, because I will watch over you. Hope without fear, because my promises remain faithful through every season. Lift your eyes toward me whenever your heart grows weary, and you will find strength that this world cannot give. I have written your name upon my heart, and nothing can separate you from my love. This is not the end of your story. It is only the end of this chapter. A new dawn is already rising beyond the horizon. New mercy is already flowing toward you. New strength is already filling your spirit. Continue believing. Continue trusting. Continue walking with me. For I am your shepherd, your defender, your peace, your redeemer, and your everlasting hope. And when the day finally comes that every hidden answer is revealed, you will look back with tears of gratitude instead of tears of fear, because you will know beyond every doubt that I never left you, I never forgot you, I never stopped loving you, and I was working every moment to lead you into a future filled with healing, purpose, restoration, and a peace that will remain with you forever. Amen.